start streaming. That was the whole deal. That was the whole plan. What a mess. Let's see if it's working now. Probably. Yep. Okay. So yeah, the whole deal here is I have a randomized list of about 10,000 cartridges. The actual paths on them are different because they're from my old computer. On the new computer, the paths are set to be names that are compatible with the MIU on systems that are available in the MIU. The other ones I just made up in a similar fashion. Um, but that's because I'm trying to get some sort of like cross save compatibility going with my portable device and such. One thing I wanted to check now that I'm using a more powerful computer, I've switched from SNES 9X to BSNES, which is a much more accurate emulator. SNES 9X did not appear to offer me any option for using a, what am I trying to say here, the Super Scope. And one of the previous games that we skipped over was Battle Clash. In fact, let me find it on the list, make sure I've got the right region for it. But it's a game that should have been played. It was the European one, actually. So I'm going to fire that up and see if I have an option to play with the mouse. And if I do, I will play it. I will review it. And I will move it to the appropriate sector in my list. These are under SF now, or SFC. I haven't looked into this yet, so I'm learning right here with y'all. First of all, I've got to fix something from earlier. I was using TurboFire. I could have done a little of this before I started the stream, and I apologize. I realize that this is a little sloppy and unprofessional of me. All right, now back to what I was actually trying to do. Does this support the mouse? Why does nothing support the Super Scope? Is that like, I didn't realize that was some sort of fucking problem. So weird. That's two completely separate emulators too, like not. Alright, so that issue is not rectified at all. So strange. Why is there just no Super Scope support? I'll have to look that up later. Maybe we'll revisit these, but otherwise, it looks like Super Scope is still off the menu, despite using a totally different emulator in RetroArch. Dumb as hell. Alright, well, to the list then. The list says we're playing YY World 2 SOS for the NES. I don't know what this is. I feel like I played a YY World game on Super Nintendo that was a skiing game. It was very awesome. It used Mode 7 and looked cool. This is on the NES though, so, or Famicom more specifically. I'm sorry, this is a Famicom game. Sucks that I'm playing the second one first, but that's the way a random list goes, huh? It's a Konami game. I'll just play with the default number of lives, one game, kind of, and usually that's how I give my opinion. It turns out to be great or something, I'll give it a couple shots sometimes. If I really get hung up on something tonight, I could always just, after this stream, whenever I get tired of doing this, just switch over and do like that game and focus on it too. I have no idea what any of this is, man. But sure, I'll take the Pompadour, the baby. Okay, alright, that's just an action game. Pace is a little slow for an auto-scrolling game. That pauses. Like, I feel like they're showing me different weapons or something down at the bottom, but I don't get it, you know? Like, doesn't seem to matter either, whether I get it or not. Oh, okay. I'm the baby now. There's a bit of lulls in this game, are there not? Where it kind of drags on a bit. It needs a little more challenge, maybe a little bit, but I bet they'll turn up the heat. I know Konami. Okay, so this controls like Section Z. Okay. I auto fire buttons, might as well use them. Graphics are pretty good, music's pretty good, as is always the case with Konami games. I gotta remember I can shoot both ways, too goddamn. Shit. My first death. Like I said, I knew they'd turn up the heat eventually. It's already more challenging. Pretty good little regular shooter here. Kind of what you'd want from like an Air Zonk type game on NES. I wonder what the mix of shooting to platform is. I don't know if this is like a rare thing or if this is what half the levels are or what. I'd say I'd like to I'd like to know more about this game. It would be interesting to play its predecessor. Why wasn't this localized? It seems like it probably would have been a good, good game, sold well. Probably uses a mapper that they didn't want to convert. That's actually the case with a lot of Konami games. They used a lot of custom mappers on the Famicom that they didn't want to convert, so I guess that's the deal. Sometimes they would make the effort and give us like Life Force, but sometimes they wouldn't. With like Gradius 2. Life Force isn't the actual Gradius 2. I didn't know that as an American, as a kid. Because I never saw Gradius 2 in the arcade at all. For whatever reason, I just never saw it in any arcade ever. So, yeah, to my knowledge, like, Life Force was Gradius 2. That was just the second game. And then when they brought out 3, I was like, huh, they went back to calling them 3, Gradius or whatever, so, okay. So how do I switch dudes? How do I become the baby? Or anybody with more health? It's by using both buttons. Oh man, that's amazing. I became like a Belmont. That's awesome. This game's rad. Oh, it doesn't give you more health though, it just switches your character and that's what happens. I got a one up, nice. Yeah, we got some good games on the list today, I think. I don't remember if Fighter's History is any good or not. I'm pretty sure that's the game that, like, Data East got sued over, right? Am I thinking of the right one? It's just so similar to Street Fighter 2, so I'm sure it's probably alright. Then there's Robowarrior, which I don't really remember. RC Pro-Am. which, you know, it's fucking RC Pro-Am. Have we reviewed a different version of RC Pro-Am already? I feel like maybe I have. I'm gonna have to look. I think this is the US ROM coming up though, and those are usually the ones I want to spend the most time on. That's like a game that I actually grew up with. I mean, I didn't own it, but I grew up with it regardless, because everybody had it. I borrowed it, I rented it, I played it some more. It's fucking great. RC Pro-Am. So yeah, right now, my feeling about this game is that it was not released in the US to my knowledge. That's just a huge mistake. We should have gotten this. This is a good game. A lot better than most games. Well, this is not auto-scrolling here, so like yeah, it's all. And maybe there's already been not auto-scrolling and I haven't been paying attention, but like, yeah, there's all sorts of shit in this game. I wouldn't mind another shooter level, just to mix it up. I really don't feel like my lack of understanding Japanese has hurt me too much in this game. I actually get the gist of it now. Basically, you see how it rolls through different power-ups at the bottom after you get power-ups, then it starts cycling them. And then if you want to use that power-up, you activate it at that time with that one highlighted by hitting A and B at the same time. Pretty simple stuff. I'm actually going to turn into Simon here in a minute, if I can. It's not working now. Oh, I'll turn into the baby instead, okay. Maybe it's down in A and B. There might be more to it though, I think. I'm still trying to figure out the controls, but I get the gist of the gameplay. There's not much to get. That's not what I expected to happen either. That's alright. Hitting up and jump changes you if you have a change available. Is that what it is? I think down and jump might also do it, who knows? And now I'm making this work. There we go. I guess I could try to translate. This is always fun. Google Translate camera. Where are you going? There's Embry Island at the top and Poe Island. So I don't know which one I want to go to. I have no idea, so we're just gonna go whatever. Rickle Twinbee. I'm gonna keep track of it. Thanks for keeping track of it, dude. Oh, holy shit, I'm literally playing Twinbee. Okay. Damn it. That was my goal in Wild Wild World. I like this a lot. I would definitely play more of this game. It seems very cool. I'm going to go ahead and rate it an 8. An 8. Pretty solid. Coming up next, we've got Taikao Rishiden. I'm sorry if I'm mangling the name. Taikao Rishiden for the Super Famicom. I don't have any idea. This could literally be anything. It's probably going to be some bullshit Mahjong game, but it could be anything. Most likely it's going to be unplayable. That would be my guess. Koei, so it might be a strategy game, actually. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be great. Let's bust out the translator now and see what we can get done here. There was once a time when you could aim for the world with your own talent. Only those who are strong are called winners, and those who are not strong are called losers. I wonder if it works better to do it off the TV. The man's name is Takiro Kinoshita. After this, Makoto will take control. He's the very person Tacoma Hideyoshi will later take control of the country and rise to the rank of Taiko. Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't know what this is about at all. It looks like some sort of maybe sword fighting, samurai shit. I don't know. I hope it's a fight, like a beat 'em up or fighting game of some sort. Let's see what our choices are here. Start a new story, restart the story, to the Oda family law. Yeah, I'm guessing this is unplayable. Yeah, this is a role-playing game or something. So, unrated. Unrated. Alright, next up is, I can't believe this, but I've only done 5 volumes of this. It really hasn't even added up to maybe 10 hours of streaming this shit. It really hasn't. Hasn't been much more than that. And yet somehow, we are getting our second Speedy Gonzalez video game. So here we go. With Cheese Catastrophe starring Speedy Gonzalez for the Sega Master System. What region? What region is it? Europe. Everything about this sounds great. Master System. What is it called? Is it just MS? Yeah. Calling the Sega Master System the MS makes as much sense to me as calling the Nintendo Entertainment System ES, which is to say it doesn't make any sense at all, and I hate it. Doesn't look like this has any other regions, or I mean, at least not a North American region. It might have a Japanese region under a Japanese name or something. You never know. I'm really putting this off, aren't I? Is it the other, the other Speedy Gonzalez game wasn't even bad. Wasn't even a bad game. So I don't really need to freak out that much about this shit. I would really like to force it into a 4:3 aspect ratio though, if that's possible. Let's see what the game looks like once I start it in English here. Yeah, it's huge. I just realized this isn't running in windowed full screen mode. Well, that's shitty as shit. Let me see if I can fix that. Let me see if fixing this thing changes this too. Where's the aspect ratio option? Yeah, it is Encore provided. This one's just going to be excessively wide, and I barely can do anything about it, and I barely care. I am, however, going to relaunch the entire emulator. There's that. We'll see how things. Oh, it's over here mashing escape on the streaming computer. Not used to this yet. Not used to my new complicated setup. It's so much better though. Now that's the way you do it. This is going to increase performance by some amount, somehow. It made a huge difference on my other like shitty integrated laptop thing. So if it made a huge difference there, there's probably a fine difference here that's still makes it worth it. You know what I mean? Anyway, history, cheese catastrophe, run it. We gotta say something about cheese catastrophe. Move on with our lives. It's probably a good chunk of it cut off on the right, but I assure you, you're not really missing out on anything because it's fucking cheese catastrophe. It's too fucking wide, and I'm not gonna fix the screen for it either. Deal with it. I have no idea why it started the game when I chose options. Okay, so I can throw unlimited sombreros. That's good. Sure does sound gritty. Oh, I'm out of sombreros. I don't have unlimited ones. I'm just completely wrong about that. I feel like everything moves too fast in this game and it comes up on you out of nowhere, like a European platformer, almost. Maybe it is a European platformer. Like, I don't feel like this game's performing well, and I'm really curious to know if it's because I went to a non-windowed full screen, which is really odd because that would definitely be backwards on my normal experience. Or if it's just because it's PAL, which I feel like is just as likely. It's PAL, and like Master System games sound shitty anyway, and this game's coded poorly, so this is about how much it speeds seesaws anyway. We'll see though. We'll see as we run other shit. We'll be playing plenty of games. We'll find out if we're in a bad spot with changes I made. This also feels like it has a lot of input delay, which bothers me. So I don't know. Oh, it sent me all the way back, huh? Gross. God. I don't know how much more of this shit I can handle. How many lives do I have in this shitty ass game? Do they just give you unlimited lives? Are there no limits on the suffering? Does my suffering never end? Why is the control so bad? The input delay is not really noticeable. It's when I do that, but when I'm like running left and right, there's like a shitty inertia. That's what it is. God, this game is literally just a fucking fart. It's not like the worst thing I've ever played or whatever. It's just, it does seem to suck pretty bad. I'm feeling a 4. Like maybe it's a 5. Maybe there's a hidden charm I'm not seeing, but no, I don't think so. I think it's pretty shitty. I think this is pretty much a shit ass game. And I think it gives you unlimited lives because you're in hell. You're in hell and you can't escape. Prove me wrong. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, thank God it at least ends at some point. Holy shit, that game sucks. There might be a game in there somewhere. I'm going to the 4. That's just regular bad. But it's bad. Don't get me wrong. There's no way it's a good game because it doesn't control well. And I don't want to play a platformer that doesn't control well or that doesn't like make sense or integrate into its challenge in any meaningful way. It's just shit. Anyway, next up, Fighter's History. This game is now history. Just out of curiosity too, am I using any kind of run ahead here or anything like that? That's good to know about too, because I could see myself turning that off. Perceived input lag. Yeah, I've never been a fan of run ahead. I don't think it actually works well. That waitable swap chain thing might not work well either. It might not be good. I think it might be something I had turned off on everything else. In fact, just out of curiosity, I want to see if this sounds any different if I turn that option off. I don't necessarily think that actually reduces any latency at all for me on any setup I've ever had either. Your option is the desert sand dunes. It doesn't do anything when you choose options. This feels like it has less latency. This does have less latency. Man, that other option sucks. Oh, you piece of shit. Sounds super fucking gritty either way, though. But no, yeah, the sound was really awful either way. Alright, we're gonna move on. This should look and sound good. I mean, I'm not saying that the game itself will look and sound good because it might be really ugly, but it should. We should have good audio video going on with some Super Nintendo here with a game that at least shouldn't be completely fucking broken, right? Right? Fighter's History Revision 1. So this would be the focus on version. This is the non-beta, non-Japanese. This is the US retail release. This is what I would want to really look at. Oh, shit. Let's go ahead and try this out then. Alright, let's... Oh, wrong keyboard again. Sorry to do so much experimentation here tonight, but I really do need to find... This is a new computer. I really need to find the settings that are going to sound and look good. And I think that there's slight performance issues right now that I need to work out that weren't present before I tried to fix things. So I'm trying to unfix some things right now. This feels tighter. Sound is still pretty gritty. And it's got the normal 64 millisecond delay, so I'm not really going to crank that up anymore. Just to see which feels better, let's go ahead and actually... I'm probably going to go and put everything back to exactly the way it was, though. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That is something I will consider changing if I ever do have performance problems later. this game is a real exercise in fucking just a bad game. Bad game design, bad everything. I think it's a piece of shit. I don't understand why I can't access the options either. Like, it's like, fuck you, you can't, no options. No options for you. Both buttons do the same thing. Yeah, this is no better or worse. But I actually do think that I had made latency worse with some of the other shit that I changed. So yeah, let's close this. Let's fire up Fighter's Destiny and let's Fighter's History. I'm sorry, I keep getting the name wrong. This is gonna be the most generic bullshit in the world, but I bet it's still okay. You know what I mean? Like, even a generic Street Fighter is still some Street Fighter. I had a professor who once said that Schlotsky's was a bullshit imitation of a muffaletta. But even a bullshit imitation of a muffaletta is still better than, like, most regular sandwiches. And that's some wisdom that I'm now sharing with you in context of Fighter's History. Let me make sure I actually wrote down the rating for Cheese Catastrophe 4. And that's me being generous, thinking that maybe if I practiced it for a while I would hate it less, but I don't know that that's true. It seems pretty hateable. Okay, so it defaults to this dude. The music does sound cleaner now on this game. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to take more of that if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach. If I ever think that something's off, I'll try run ahead, see how it goes, and I'll try disabling. If I feel like there's a performance issue, I'll try disabling the GPU sync, but I don't feel like there's any reason to right now. I seem to be getting top-notch performance right here with these exact settings. Oddly, with the windowed full screen working better. Somehow, some way. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty fun. It's, you know, fighting game. Graphics aren't too bad. Character designs are forgettably generic, I would say. I mean, I'm a Thai boxer, that's alright. Sam Chase may be a little more memorable than some of the others, but he's also the main character, I guess, or like at least the default character. The backgrounds have a nice depth to them and kind of a good art style, I think. Characters are small though. This is also a letterboxed game, like most fighting games on Super Nintendo, including Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 I feel like has bigger characters though, maybe? Maybe not, I don't know. It's certainly a better looking game than this overall, but this is still not too bad. You get line scrolling on the floor, you know, more line scrolling in the background for some cool effects. It's got a nice depth to it. I bet Capcom would have had less of a case if they hadn't stolen some specific design elements with like the health bar and stuff. Like, does it have to look exactly like that? You know what I mean? Like that's very much Street Fighter 2. I haven't been using my heart attack buttons. Heart attack. My hard attack buttons. Badass. Is this guy gonna be big, or at least a little bigger, maybe? Yeah, not really. Damn.
Loses. Round 2, fight. Tiger.
So the cutting off of row of tiles at the top and bottom of the screen, I don't know if that's more about like getting rid of some ugly effect that affects the line scrolling at the bottom and then making it even, or if it's more like a performance thing. They really gain like a whole lot of performance by cutting out 2 rows of tiles. Badass.
Samke wins. Round 3, fight.
His ankles are glowing. Okay. Alrighty. There is no escape from my T-Calculin. Whatever the fuck that means, there's no escape from it. That's right.
Round 1, fight.
Some balls are held for charity and some for fancy dress.
La Ballon Rose.
This is a not very well drawn background, I would say. Compared to like the castle or palace interior that Charlotte has in Samurai Showdown, this looks like shit by comparison. It's very, very poorly done with all the characters lined up perfectly and shitty looking floor. This guy is obviously Guile. French Guile.
La battle road. Samke wins. Samke. Round one, fight.
Samche's level looks cool. See, like, that's a huge gap in background quality. Like, this is a very cool looking one, and the other one wasn't at all. It was like shit. Oh shit.
Samke wins. Round two, fight.
Boom. Take that, Samche. Other evil Samche. The victory is indeed on my side.
Matlock.
Matlock, huh?
Round one, fight.
Oh, they just don't. Nah, they didn't get it. There's only one Matlock, and he's old as shit. Background quality here is pretty mediocre at best. It's really all over the place, isn't it? It looks best when they just try to do like kind of natural environments with lots of water and stuff. Looks kind of terrible when they tried anything else, especially people. Don't make a fighting game if you're not good at drawing people. This really isn't the worst fighting game ever though, by any means. It's totally like, if you ran this, if you'd played the shit out of Street Fighter and you're like, yeah, let's play something different, like, you'd be okay with this. Just okay with it though. I don't think Capcom have any grievance here. Nobody's like, oh, I got Fighter's history, I don't need Street Fighter. I can play this shit instead. It's like just as good, right? No, it's not, man. It's not just as good. I do realize that this is clipping in a little here. I'm going to shrink it a little smidge. There we go, that looks better.
Round one, fight.
That's a pretty cool looking background. See, it's just all over the place, man. Oh, right in the balls. Right in the balls.
Samke wins. Round 2, fight. Dynamite. Big tornado. Big tornado. Big tornado. Big tornado.
Yeah, right in the toe, bitch.
Samke wins.
Yankee, go home. Alright.
Balin.
There's still 2 more assholes left before the boss asshole. Difficulty is not ramped up at all, really. Not yet.
1, fight.
Could change any minute here. Not sure how I feel about his background. It's mostly not very good.
Samke wins. Round 2, fight.
Right in the face. Easy peasy.
Mizoguchi.
This is a Japanese wrestler.
Round 1,
Some sort of
fight.
martial artist. Mizoguchi. See, again, this background's alright. Got some depth to it. Got some color cycling, that's always fun. This music is criminally close to Street Fighter's. Except for like with really bad instrumentation. Oh, he dead.
Samke wins. Round 2, fight. Samke wins.
Shameful loss indeed.
Clown. one, fight!
Oh, I busted his mask off already.
Samke wins! Round two, fight!
Come on, just face the inevitable.
Samke wins! Karna
Karnov? Karnov indeed, alright. Makes sense.
round one, fight!
Smaller than I imagined. Oh, badass combo there at the end.
Samke wins! Round two, fight! Fire! Fire!
Oh, nice. Dramatic finish.
Samke wins!
Well, I guess there's more of a true ending if you play it on a higher difficulty or something. That was very easy on easy, let me tell you. I'm not going to dive in deeper though because I don't care enough. Fighter's History is not a bad game, it's just extremely generic. Generic enough to be something you could completely forget about. So anyway, I'm going to let this roll for a second. I'm going to take a short break here, get a drink and stuff, and I will be right back. Oh, and also wanted to say before I go away, I rated this game 7. It's whatever. If you're in it, you'd have fun. It's alright. It's a fighting game. Alright, I'm back, I think. Next up, Robowarrior for the European NES. I don't know about all that. It's going to be stretched on the screen. I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix that for European games. We're not going to spend much time on it. This is not the preferred version. This was released in the US, which is the one we will concentrate on more. Yeah, this is all stretched out and shitty looking. You're missing about half the screen. I don't care. I don't know what this game is either. I've never played it. Sounds cool. Oh, this seems very similar to Bomberman. Okay. Ooh. Yikes. Very easy to accidentally blow yourself up in this game. It's completely unforgiving. That's just a regular pause, and this is the select stage. This is very difficult. Like, it might be a pretty good game, but it's very difficult. Like, you've got to manage a lot here fast. I've already given this more time than I want to, almost. I'll spend more time on the US version. I want to see if... It's one of those things where I want to see if I come back to it and spend more time on it, if it changes my opinion of it, or if I still just kind of don't like it. It's just too hard. I don't hate it, though. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if it's more of a 5 or a 6, I guess is really where I'm going with all this. Because it's not... It's a cool idea to be like... So I've got a regular gun I can use. It doesn't have limited shots either. Killing enemies gives you bombs. Wait a second, so this is a little... This is a game changer right here, like being able to just attack enemies. This game might actually be pretty cool. It's just hard, like I said before. Oh, I got a bunch of bombs. And my battery ran out, whatever that is. Probably my gun, I imagine. Oh shit. Blew my own ass up. Yeah, no, I'm leaning more towards I like this. I'd say it's at least a 6. I think it takes a little bit of effort to get into it, but I think that it's worth the effort because it seems like a fun game. Like it's a cool mix of Bomberman as a single player game. If that makes any sense. And I wonder if it is converted from a Bomberman game. I don't see anything like that in the name. It says Jalico. I don't think Jalico have anything to do with Bomberman, which is a Hudson deal. So I think it is just a ripoff of that, but not really a ripoff. It's its own thing because the bombs don't even have the same pattern for one thing. The idea that you can hurt yourself still there, and I was setting them, waiting, moving off grid level is still there. So it's definitely a clone. But yeah, different bomb, different objective. Not fighting similar style enemies at all. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Tentatively, I'm gonna say a 6. But it may be better than that. Tentatively, I'm gonna say a 6. Let's go ahead and give it a 7. I'll adjust later when I take another look at it. It's pretty interesting. Just hard. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with a 6. It is pretty fucking hard, and it's probably the same thing the entire game, so there's that, you know, as you can kind of see from these demos. I don't know. We'll give it more time when we're playing, not the PAL version. RC Pro-Am. This is the US ROM, just like the regular US ROM of our RC Pro-Am, which means I'm going to play some RC Pro-Am for a minute here. I guess there's a revision of it too, so we'll play it even more when we get to that. But I'll play it for a little while here, then we'll move on. I mean, it's a game we all kind of know, so it's not like I have to spend a ton of time on it, but you know, I got some things to say about RC Pro-Am, like that it rules, first of all. I think Rare are a very hit and miss developer, especially on their 8-bit games. They were really all over the place here. Some of them were great, some of them were okay, some of them were not very good. This one falls on the great end. This is like primo shit. Some people would say that Cobra Triangle is better, and I do like Cobra Triangle, but I think it's worse than this. It's way harder, and it's not as straightforward. I just love this game just for its simplicity and its design and everything. This is some top-notch NES shit right here, and of course, something you should all be familiar with. Shit. And a lot of people were confused by the controls, which was, you know, supposed to be like an RC car. You control it from the perspective of your car, so left's always turning it left and right is always turning it right. But I think it's pretty easy to pick up on and very fun. And, you know, inspired a lot of imitation. As really good games tend to do. Hell yeah. Look pretty good here. Shit. Until I got to that, then I fucked everything up. Shit. Missing every fucking turbo. Somehow. Yeah, there we go. Steal first by like wrecking everyone. Oh shit. And yeah, we didn't think of this as a Rare game back then. We thought it was as a Nintendo game because it was first party published. Very much as a simple, addictive, fun game like Nintendo were known for at the time. There's a reason why this game sold like hotcakes. It was like something everybody could enjoy. I really feel like it remained unrivaled for this kind of game until we got suitably good ports of Super Off-Road, which was in the next generation. So. And if a lot of you didn't know, this game is available on Sega Genesis under the name Championship Pro-Am. Some very subtle changes. And I used to continue and get pretty far into it. I actually think it's almost more fun to start from the beginning nowadays, but it gets pretty wild and hard. That's for damn sure. Oh man, it's like I'm dodging the power-ups. Oh well, I don't need to play another full game of this. There's a revision. We'll really play it maybe a little bit more when we get to that. And anyway, it's not like you guys don't know RC Pro Am. I'm sure you all do. But I love this game. I think probably a lot of people do. Like I said, it's just like an overhead combat racing game at its simplest yet best. Like it actually feels good. It feels like you're racing something and not just like moving some shit around in an overhead game. Does that make any sense? Like you're actually like working in a car that has some inertia and has so much animation to its turning too. Like there's like what, like how many angles was this car shown from? It really makes a difference too. It really makes it look good and like smooth. It makes the control feel smooth. You know, as you turn, you can tell what you're doing. What a great game. I almost want to give it a 9, but I'm gonna say 8 out of 10. It's a banger though. You know that. Next up, Shanghai, which is a Japanese game for the PC Engine. I strongly smell Mahjong coming our way, so it'll probably likely go unrated since I do not know how to play Mahjong and I do not care. I've not even attempting to rate these games. But, yeah, it's Mahjong. That saves us a lot of time there. So even though I say I'm rating almost 10,000 games, I'm not, like about 1 in 4, 1 in 5, I'm just unrated because they're too Japanese or too whatever for me. This next one's Japanese, but I can definitely rate it. It's going to be our pro wrestling game. Shin Nihon Pro Wrestling Kunin 95 Tokyo Dome Battle 7. Hell yeah. Sounds great. I'm not super into wrestling games, but I do have opinions about them. And some are fun and some are not. Probably my hot take is that the greatest wrestling game ever is Pro Wrestling, which was made for the NES, which was made by the team that went on to make the Fire Pro games, which I think I like from what I've played. But I feel like Pro Wrestling just nailed it all in the simplest form. It was just perfect. They don't really need to be anything other than that. I like the Saturday Night Slam Masters games okay. They're pretty fun. WWF WrestleFest is really good, the arcade game. So that's my taste in wrestling games. And the Nintendo 64 stuff that everybody loves, that everybody goes crazy for, that shit's pretty good too. I like it pretty well. We'll play some of that at some point, but it's not in this list because this is like 8-bit and 16-bit stuff. I will start another list at some point though that we'll work in. There's going to be like a handheld version of this. It'll be randomized handheld ROMs or something like that. Different series. It'll be cool. So, Shin Nihon Pro Wrestling Kunin. Oh, there's so many of these. We're doing the 95 Tokyo Battle Dome now. 95 Tokyo Dome Battle 7. That's its full name. What the shit? There we go.
Presented by Barrier.
Battle 7, or G1 Climax, our IWGP Battle Royale, which everybody loves, versus Battle, and options. Let's see what options they show the controls. That'd be nice. There's rope on and off, huh? Let's put this shit on easy or very easy. That's what we can do. And then Battle 7, because I don't know what that is. There's a single and tag out. Man, this has a shit ton of options and a shit ton of characters. Including, is that Hawk or Animal? I'm not like a wrestling expert by any means. I watch some like it, you know. Yeah, let's get some crazy looking fuckers in here. This guy. Whoever the fuck this is. Ooh, they're going a little crazy with their laser lights here. For yours truly. What's this other guy's intro like? Load time on a white screen. I appreciate that it's on a white screen. More crazy laser lights. More white screen. I'm blind. Characters are a little smaller than I was hoping for. Controls feel like they're pretty good though. I mean, obviously I don't know what I'm doing. That's the biggest problem, I suppose. Bam! Oh man, pile driver. Pile driver. Oh, I'm fucking his leg up. Oh, this is a pretty cool wrestling game. This is fun. Just you mash buttons and do shit. It's cool. Got all your wrestling stuff in it. I wonder if I can get on the turnbuckle. I'm gonna try it. That's important to me. I like being able to get out of the ropes. I think that's something that should be in wrestling games. I really feel like pro wrestling is a template for what should be in your fucking wrestling game. Just in case anyone's wondering. Like, you don't need anything else. That's all the stuff. You get on the turnbuckle, jump off, fuck people up, put them against the ropes, bounce them off and fuck them up. Hell yeah. Oh man, and it's just intuitive to do, too. Oh, this is a good one. Shit's fun. I'm just gonna keep fucking his leg up all day. Oh, fuck you. Oh, man. Oh, he's about to tag me out? What? Can I tag him out? Can I get a submit? Submit on me, bitch. Bam. And we got L1. It didn't work. He's not fucked up enough. He's one of us, I guess. Oh my god! Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead from that, man. You got it. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. That fucked me up so bad. That's pretty fun. That's a good wrestling game. I don't really need to play a whole lot more of it or anything, I don't think. But you know what? You want to see a battle royale? I don't know how to get back there, so I'm just going to reset it. There's no one player versus com. That's not really. This is just a tag match. Shitheads. Putting lots of luchadors in. I want to see some high flying horse shit. I probably won't do a full match. Just want to see how the mode works. I'm disappointed to see that it's just a tag match because that seems, or maybe it's a 2v2. So I'm sure it's a 2v2 live, but it should be like a every man for himself, last man standing thing, right? Oh shit. You know, it's not any slower or anything with all this action. Not really. No flicker really or anything in it. I mean, not that it's anything less than choppy before. And I take back what I said about the flicker because it just awesome. It's not too bad though. Performs pretty well. Yeah, if this had been the wrestling game I had, I'd have been happy with it. There's a lot of characters in it, probably a shit ton of moves. Check that out. Oh, I'm fucking them up. Yeah, no, this is fun. Not like groundbreakingly fun or anything. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Curious to see what the other one in the series is like, but this is definitely not bad. Actually, you know what? It's probably worthy of an 8. I'd say that's because that's a cut above, really. Like I've played a lot of wrestling games. A lot of them I fucking hate. Well, we'll see some. We're gonna play some wrestling games where I'm gonna be like, this is dog shit, and give it like a 4 or less. So yeah, there's a huge span of differences there, and then there's some that are closer to a true 7 than this. Like I don't know. This is pretty solid though. I think it's, you know, still, if I rented it, I'd be bored by the end of the weekend probably too. I'm gonna say 7 because it doesn't really bring, like I said, anything fantastically new to the table from pro wrestling except for a 2v2 mode, which is not a bad thing at all. And you know, probably a couple of tag modes and different championship sequences or whatever. That's cool, you know, like 30 characters, but a lot of them are just some Japanese dude to a person who's not familiar with their wrestling scene. So, um, yeah, pretty cool though. 7 out of 10. Next up, we've got, next one's, I'm sorry, I need to correct the description for this because I said Super Load Runner 2 would be on the list without noticing that that is a Famicom Disk System game, which means it is not going to get reviewed. I need to fix those later, and that's something I should correct and get the right BIOS for, but I don't have it right now, and I don't feel like fixing it. Oh god, a horse racing game? Derby Jockey Kishu o no Michi. Another Super Famicom game. Another Japanese Super Famicom game coming up. But I have less hope for this one being good. Because a wrestling game can truly go any direction. That was a pretty solid one though. Give it a spin if you like taking it to the square circle. Derby Jockey. Vision 1 or the original? Oh, the original. With uncut full frontal horse. top one's new, continue, or options. Dare I look at the options? Sound and erase data. Those are your two options. Exciting. Let's go back. We want to go to new, which is at the top. I'm sure that's just slot 1. You guys are finally graduating from jockey school. Lastly, would you like to review what you've learned so far? The two things above him apparently cannot be deciphered. No, I'm not going to review shit. I'm not going to be able to rate this game. It's a fucking horse game. I would have very little opinion of it if it did work, but it's way too text heavy, obviously. I mean, the music is really simulation oriented. Actually, I can't say that I wouldn't be able to rate it otherwise, because I definitely would, but it's just too text heavy. And it's too taxing to like try and translate every single thing before the horse racing action, which I'm sure is almost non-existent. Alright. I don't think I'm going to rate prototypes either. Have I so far? Have I rated any prototype or beta? I don't think I have, and I certainly don't want to. I only want to do released games, and some of those are going to have multiple versions, and many of them are going to have multiple regions, and sometimes there's not going to be any difference, or I won't catch a difference. That I'm all fine with, but I don't see any point in reviewing games that were just completely unreleased. Not for this. Next up is Shin Megami Tensei. I know what that is. Obviously, this is not a translated ROM, so it's not playable. I'm going to skip it. Next up is F-22 Interceptor. And by the way, I don't have translated ROMs. These are all retail ROMs that I'm reviewing. So something that comes up that's, you might think it's amazing. Like Final Fantasy V, you're not going to review that? No, I know that Final Fantasy V is a good game. I've played translated versions of it. At least not like I haven't finished it or anything, but I've played many hours into it. It's a good game. I like it. But I'm not going to review it here because these are, like I said, these are just what actually came out in the world back in the day. So next up, we get the September 1991 release of F-22 Interceptor for the Genesis and European Mega Drive. It apparently did get patched. So like when we see beta, we won't do that one, There's no reason to. Let me make sure I haven't done any like that so far though. Hang on, there's a really quick way I can check. Yeah, I did the beta of Syndicate. The beta of Star Wars. Oh, which I did not rate. The beta of Star Wars. I did rate the beta of Syndicate. I'm not going to do that going forward. But I will play this because this is a retail release. And I'm sure it's a simulator. I'm sure I won't understand it very well. These are not my bag, baby. But I'll give it a good whirl. Training's probably a good idea. Jesus, this looks hard. Alright, so they're doing some polygons and shit here. Alright, I'm taking flight. Successful takeoff. Look amazing. Oh yeah. Badass. This is actually kind of fun, but it's broken up into tiny sequences. I don't know what to say about it. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, I wasted the missile. Slow down, huh? Maybe that was that. Okay, that didn't go well. We can turn around and hit this though, right? Is it destroyed? It's not destroyed yet? You piece of shit. Pretty much got this, I think. Pretty much got it nailed. I can still pull up. We're good. I did it. Holy shit, I can't believe that worked. How do I reselect back? Alright, well that's probably about enough of that for me to drop a review, because I kind of like it okay. I played some sim games on 16-bit, and you know, like this falls squarely in the middle of one that's pretty playably fun, I guess. I would have to obviously get better at like controlling it. It's very arcadey. It jumps you from one spot to the next. Of course, this is training. I'm sure it makes you fly a lot more in the real game. Like once you get past all this shit. But I did most of the training, I think, here. I get the idea. Um, normal stuff. Balance your fuel and ammo. Switch weapons. Air and ground. Very choppy frame rate. Uses, but not unplayably so. Just pretty bad. Uh, Uses exactly half of the screen, which is pretty okay for this era, for this type of graphics, but not great. I mean, it's just pretty average. If I rented it though, I'd play it all weekend, have some fun with it. 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10 game for sure. If I ever done seen one, not bad. I like that it does like teach you how to play it as you go along though. That is helpful. But man, the button scheme sucks. And that's the case with almost every Genesis sim combat game, I believe. Is that the controls suck, and this predates 6-button controls. I'm almost positive that year, like late '91. I don't think that was a thing until like late '92, and that's a bummer because flight simulator games desperately need more buttons than this. Next up, the Ninja for Sega Master System, which I believe is the US port of Ninja Princess, right? This is pretty fun, I think. Let's see here. So we got a real shitty Sega Master System game today. Now we're gonna get a good one. And this is the US and European ROM. Alright, I'm gonna try and make this shit fit because this is the American version, so we gotta do what we can do here. Gosh darn, everything's gonna be tiny. We should be able to accommodate even the widest of games now, though. It's gonna be Oh, damn. What a mess. This is damn near widescreen on my end for whatever reason. Oh yeah, and the sound on this is fine, by the way, which means that the sound on that other game was just shitty. Not the emulator. Oh, this is probably FM, isn't it? I'll get my ass handed to me here. Sorry, my allergies are really bothering me. Is that a checkpoint? Oh, this game's rough as shit. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna give it more of a go than this. Hang on. That always goes upwards. Okay, I gotcha. Might be faster for certain things. Bastard. Oh shit. We'll have to make it out of the castle, I think. Not with these moves. This is a tough game. Nice, nice, okay. Had to beat that asshole to move on. Oh shit. Whoa, man. Come on. Whoa, man. Come on. That's really not cool. That's not good. That's just not good. I don't think so, man. That's a pretty shit level. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I don't know. This game's basically Commando, both in vintage and difficulty. I would say that the Master System got both Commando and Ikari Warrior, so it got both of the two primary military running guns from the NES. It just got them in the form of this game for Commando and Rambo for Ikari Warriors, which is actually a better game than Ikari Warriors, I think. Hell, this might be a better game than Commando. About the same, I'd say. I'd probably rate it the same. Which is to say about a 6. A simple old running gun, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, you know, something hard that you play for score or whatever. And if you put time into it, you get a lot better out of it, I'm sure. I mean, heck, it's pretty fun. I don't mind actually going back and giving it a shot over and over again. Maybe I'll do a stream someday. But I'd probably still leave this one at about a 6. There's better of this, even on this system. As far as overhead running guns go, I'd rather play Alien Syndrome just because I think it's a more interesting game. Shit, man, that's hard. Hard as fuck. Anyway, yeah, pretty cool. 6 out of 10. Alright, well next up is the US version of the Super Nintendo game, The Adventures of Batman and Robin. So I'm going to take a short break before I do that, because that's quite a game. And deserves a good look. Very, very cool. And I don't think I'll make it very far, because you probably have to put some time into that too. But we'll definitely take a look at it and give it a review. One moment. Alright, so that was the ninja, which was whatever. And now we're on to The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Alright. This is a very, very different game. Very different game on Super Nintendo than it is on Genesis. The Genesis is a very hardcore, fast-paced action run and gun in the style of something like Contra. The Super Nintendo game is more of a traditional platform action game, but it's got like maybe even like cinematic platform adventure game elements to it. Puzzle, not puzzle, but yeah, there's more to it than just running and gunning. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This back to a more normal display now. And we're done with that other bullshit. I'll try to adjust it per game going forward if it's within reason. Especially for like wide ass fucking PAL games look weird. Almost certainly reloading with the wrong aspect ratio. Yeah, that's good. Good enough. Put it on easy, huh? Punch, jump, item, select, guard. Okay. Why? Why do you still have to go? Is there some reason why I would want to take all this shit? What if I need it? Yeah. Like I didn't do anything, I just decided to start punching the shit out of him. That guy jumped through a window, so that's a little sus. That guy shot me with a gun, so that's also very sus. I don't understand how to make that work in any meaningful way. Ow. What? Do I have a double jump or something? That feels a lot like NES Batman's double jump. That's the smart way out of that. Ow, no. Stop doing that. Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. I did think it had something to do with this. Just got climb up there. I'm hearing this all in the original voice actors' voices, which is great. They nailed the art style. That's super important, and the writing's right on too. It seems right. Would you do the honors, Mark Hamill? This game actually does a much better job than the Genesis one of conveying that it is Batman the Animated Series. That's my opinion. Oops, that's not the right move to use. But yeah, the Genesis one, yeah, uses a shit ton of like line scrolling to make it look very 3D, which is not what I think I want to think of Batman the Animated Series. But it doesn't matter. It's very cool. Very cool game. It's very hard too. It's practice because traditional old school run and gun. Ooh, we got some mode 7. Legit mode 7. Shit. Is it all the way from... How far back are they starting me exactly? Oh, from the beginning of the game. Well, shit. You'd want to do a little better and not continue. I think I'm gonna wrap that up there. I might come back with something totally different. Just streaming something else tonight. Maybe. That's a maybe. But yeah, this has been fun. I got a lot done here. I'm gonna rate this game an 8 because I know how good it is. I played a lot more of it in the past. Um, you can tell how high quality it is anyway. Konami really delivered the goods on those, man. The Batman Returns game, which I will get to eventually, I'm sure, also is just excellent. It's really, really good. So the next time I do randomized retro ROMs Volume 6, we'll get to see a game called Space Attack for the 2600. I'll be skipping a Mahjong game. I will be playing a Dragon Ball Z game, Super Saiyan Densetsu, for the Super Nintendo, or I'm sorry, Super Famicom, Japanese only release. See if that's playable. You know, looking a little further down the list, I see some baseball. I see a Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkatron. Um, some basketball. That'll be our first basketball game. It'll be our second baseball game. So there'll be some sports games next time. And Italian version of Maniac Mansion. I'll skip over that. I don't speak Italian, but that's cool that that exists. I had no idea. I really never thought much about like European releases outside of UK. I don't know what all you guys got, and I'm sure it's pretty interesting. I know that Spain had its own line of NES games that were from some developer that, yeah, they were unlicensed and they only came out over there. But that's some pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like action games,